2, 1. Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen, if I want to exercise my right to be able to vote and go out and protest because I give a shit about the hospitals and the people there because our state is a dick and as a consequence, they aren't giving us the funding we need, I walk into the office planning to be able to go and protest, then my supervisor says, "Ay, pasensya na po, may MSR po tayo, essential worker kayo, you are on duty." And I'm like, okay, what happens if I don't go? Ay, may demerit po tayo. We'll have to talk to senior doctor sa residence sa taas. Di ka mababayaran. As a consequence, I'll be like, fuck, that's more proximate to me. I'm gonna have to do it. So, their side can't say that you give them a choice and they can still protest precisely because MSR has all these legal loopholes and nuances, of which I told you in the top of my speech, that in and of itself restrict their ability of truly making an informed decision, at the point in which LO also agreed and characterized, hey brah, there are nuances, may mga stipulation yan, no. These in and of itself allow the state to be able to tell them that you can have their cake and eat it too. Optics lang yan. You preserve the peace and at the same time, pwede naman mag-protest. Di lang lahat kayo. That's why the principal justification I told you in my speech stands. It's super sketchy that some people can exercise their right more than others, and some people's rights and abilities are more important than that, because it's an illusion. In fact, the true exercise of choice and agency is where you run the risk of their side happening, which is the biggest harm that they told you in this debate, which we think, because on all sides, even the government doesn't want people to die and bad things to happen, becomes the incentive structure to actually listen to particular people. 3 reasons why their side cannot advance to the next break round. Number 1, at best, opposition says, it's about MSR. People can be able to protest, etc. But we think it's precisely because of those nuances that actually allow the state to keep leverage over these people and gaslight and emotionally manipulate them into always choosing duty as opposed to be able to have dissent, something you got from all our speeches that weren't really contended to. Because I agree, this debate isn't about striking or not, but uniquely about what MSR does as a way to be able to inhibit their ability. Secondly, most importantly, the grand impact they have about violence and death. Yes, please panel, in a vacuum, of course you're gonna weigh that over the ability to protest. But we told you, there's a reason why people are protesting. It's not like they're protesting willy-nilly. But they might say, Joseph, mukhang pera lang yan. They're protesting with budget about what they're saying. But bro, the reason why is because what Isaiah said. They want to buy guns. They want to buy equipment to be able to help more people. These people are selfless. These people are agents of the state. And they've also taken an oath. Meaning, as what Isaiah said, the point in which they exercise that oath in and of itself becomes a check and balance against the state's inability to take these particular things seriously. This isn't dismissive, by the way, because we for real mech'd it out and told you why violence and death won't happen. A, do you think doctors and nurses are gonna go shouting and start sapakan MMA? Probably not. B, bro, the biggest protest we've seen in society, EDSA fucking revolution, was bloodless and stuff, right? Bro, it's not in the nature of particular people to do that because of like mutually assured destruction. And C, fine, in the worst case, people die, bad things happen. Okay, mamatay si patient because the doctor left. That's exactly the point in which the state will be like, hey, I don't want that to happen. Let me listen. And then as a consequence, doctor will be like, hey, I won't protest anymore because I'm getting what they want. Uniquely, this debate is about getting what we want and uniquely about MSR and how it is kind of shady and ultimately a loophole that stands in the way of redress and franchisement for the very people who need it. We are very proud to take this debate.